Welcome everybody.
Yeah, Mount Mangawhai, Max is the mount.
We're up in magical Mangawhai. We've got to kick off the Mangawhai Bowl Jam. I'm sitting here with Dave Crabb. We've got the under-16s warming up. It's a perfect day. And if you're in the neighbourhood, get on down here and come and watch some of the best skaters in New Zealand. About to rip up one of the best bowls in the country. And we're on.
Oh, sorry.
So stoked to see so many people come out from all over the country to support skateboarding in New Zealand. We've got so many skaters travelled all over the country to be here. And they're fired up. We've got the under-16 heat coming up. Max Hancock from Auckland. Sam Westercramp from Christchurch. James Charlesworth. You've got Seb, Jesse and Sage Freeman all coming up really soon. Just warming up.
Any minute, just waiting on the live feed, guys setting up. They're pumping out some coverage to Sky, which is pretty cool. People can tune in from good to go wherever. We're good to go. Dave Crabb and Miles Rama rattling off the jargon. Okay, Brummies, you can, next person drops is last to warm up. Let's clear out those tiles. We're going to get this event underway. It's the 10th year anniversary of the Mangawhai Bowl Jam, but we're about to get underway with the under-16 first heat.
10 years of the Bowl Jam. This is actually my first year here, and I'm blown away. Got a local boy in the bowl right now, Monty. Grommy's frothing to get in there.
And he isn't signature just who he is yet. So this is the last warm-up.
Here we go. Got Dave Crabb chucking on the headset. How you going, bro?
Good. Hey, welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in and watching us here at the 10th annual Mangawhai Bowl Jam. We've had 9 years of amazing skating. This year's a few people that couldn't jump the ditch. Some of the top New Zealand skaters living in Australia, training there and stuff. So we're going to get started today with the under-16s, moving on to the girls, and then we're going to have open qualifying. And then we're going to bring out the masters, the skaters of over 40 years of age, some of the best skaters and some of the New Zealand's top skaters, including Andrew Morrison, an international pro skater residing in New Zealand. And he'll be definitely laying it down and trying to win for his 4th year in a row. And then after that, at the end of the day, we've got the open finals. It's going to be amazing. We've got some new up-and-coming, the future of New Zealand skateboarding, Zedin Fellows and Niwa Shuri from down the line, 2 14-year-old kids who are basically taking over the New Zealand scene. 2 completely different skaters, big high airs, and high-tech, just great skateboarding. So that'll be good. And we still have Bowman Hansen, who just came back before COVID in New Zealand. Bowman is one of the best skaters in New Zealand. He will be very hard to beat and has been a winner of the Mangawhai Bowl Jam before. So really great to see the competitiveness between Bowman, the reigning champ, and the young guns trying to take the trophy. We're getting started here with the under-16s. We've got 3 heats, and should be great. These guys will go through to a final. And we've got some great skaters coming up in this heat as well as the next 2 heats. So these are the young guys getting started, and we're going to keep you informed, tell you what tricks they're doing, tell you what's up, and keep you informed on how the day's going to be laid out.
Dropping in deep in. Listen, that back 30 pops out. Zeb Moamini. How's that bowl cut? Yeah.
That was Zeb. He dropped into the deep end. Next skater coming in is going to be Jesse. Jesse's from Auckland.
He wants some noise. Give him some support.
Just a little fella, but yeah, it's a big bowl for these little guys, and they're not residents here. A lot of these people ride the local parks and ramps, so it takes a little bit to get used to this, but yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, Jesse. The most important thing about skateboarding is that these guys are having fun.
Yeah, this guy, I've never seen such a high standard of skateboarding in New Zealand at such a young age. It looks like, skating in New Zealand is as strong as ever.
Yeah, it's definitely having a resurgence, and now that skateboarding is an Olympic sport, it's got a great future, and especially for the girls. It really opens up a world of, the girls can go to the Olympics and represent their country and stuff. So that's, and we do have a lot of girls skating today, and some of them are up and coming and getting pretty good.
The same as the surfing, in the Olympics this year as well. The surfing and skating women's is the fastest growing sport in the world.
Let's get it. Right, you guys have no voices by the end of the day. What were you doing when you're not?
These kids look so small in this bowl.
Pops out, and we're back to the top. Max Hancock.
All right, Max is from Mount Maunganui. Come up and he had a great first run, starting it all.
He's wearing the t-shirt.
Nice 50-50 in the deep end. Great backside air.
Back to back.
Yep. Hey, that's a really hard line. He just did a front side over the waterfall, which, if anyone skated this bowl have been out here, that's a great line. So, yeah, Max is actually currently ruling.
Yeah, that's a big wall, huh?
Yeah, nice Smith in the shallow. I'd say that'd be a pretty hard run to beat in this heat.
You know it's a good run when they just pop out. Nothing left on the table. We saw the run. Up next, Sam Westerkamp. Send it, Sammy.
Sammy dropping in the deep end, coming into the shallow end. Backside turn into a nice frontside Smith. Nice and smooth. Backside 50 in the shallow. Into the deep, nice backhand here. Throws it away. But looking smooth. Nice work, Sammy. Up next is James. James dropping in into the shallow, backhand turn. Oh, this flies out of the big end. Up next, we've got Seb.
Zeb tried to blow the fins on his first run.
Zeb dropping in.
How's that grip tape? Matching t-shirt. Points. Getting some heat. Comes out in the pocket.
Seb's only 10, must be one of the youngest competitors.
Goes to the front side, Shaka.
Goes down.
Again, 10 years old, it's the same. Up next, Jesse, another 10-year-old local shredder on the big old boat. He's got some old school steves.
I don't see Zeden's name.
Jesse on a nice old school board there. This board's like silent. You can't even hear this thing in the bowl. Nice 50 in the shallow. He's going to pull it in, pulls it in.
Fitty creeper.
Into a frontside carve. Backside in the shallow.
Good to see some progression.
Nice smooth turns there.
Another back 50. No
Another
worries.
back 50.
Nice
and
run,
out.
Jesse.
Nice one, Jess.
Sage, you're up next.
Local boy Sage. This is the youngest competitor in the comp, I think.
Yeah, right. And he's riding an old school board. Skateboards have progressed a lot, in the last 30 years. A lot of people still like the old school ones. They got some heroes from back then and stuff like that. So he's riding pretty much a 10 by 30 board, but most of the skateboards now are pretty much popsicle sticks because a lot of the tricks are done switch and fakie, so the boards are pretty much the same front and back, kind of resembling snowboards. But the old school boards definitely have got a front and a back and a big tail.
Nice little flybow grind there in the deep by Max. Into backside. Frontside 50 over that waterfall you're talking about. Such a big wall. Into the shallow. Another 50 and back into the deep. Using the whole bowl up. Nice backside to tail. Just comes off.
Yeah, Max is a ripper. He's been up here practicing, and you can really tell. He puts together a good line in this bowl. I'd definitely say he would be the winner of Heat 1. So we'll definitely look forward to seeing him in the finals where, we're going to see Zeden, one of the up-and-coming guys or whatever. He's skating in Heat 4. Monty, one of the locals. So those guys are all going to get together in the final, and the session will get a bit more heated. But this is a great run.
Sam frontside Smith over the wall. Cranking up some speed. Nice long 50. Big backside. Another one.
out.
Starting to wind it up.
You got. Something up. Builds the speed.
Frontside disaster.
Nice.
Smooth. Slides it. At backside. Sad in there. It was a nice run. Nice work.
Yeah, that's it. He's starting to set the bar there. It's good to see.
This guy wants redemption. He's got the speed. Nice.
Yeah, it's cool to see these Groms riding some older boards.
30 seconds. So we'll get it to the end of this heat.
While he gets out of the bowl, hey, I just want to say thanks heap to our sponsors. You know, without Vans, Backdoor, Bahamas, Santa Cruz, Manual, Skateboard Magazine, and Skull Candy headphones, you know, this event wouldn't happen. It's been going for 10 years in a row. And Jesse Peters is the guy that puts it all together. And yeah, it's just so good to get all the skaters from across New Zealand together and have a session this bowl. This bowl was built about 10 years ago by Jason Parks, an international skateboarder, and it is one of the best bowls in New Zealand, about 12 feet deep in the deep end. And you see when he fell off there, because it's such a big bowl or whatever, he doesn't have impact. He just falls on the transition and slides down, you know. So it's pretty safe and it's pretty fun, but it's great to see Jesse giving it a go there.
You can see the results of what building one of these bowls has done for New Zealand skateboarding when you see how young these kids are shredding it now.
Yeah, like, you know, this is a big bowl, but this bowl is now the norm. So these guys just watch PlayStation, they watch video games, they watch YouTube, and they're just pre-programmed to not have any fear and just dive on in there and skate like what they watch all day long on the screen.
Pops out. Nice run. Sit up there. Jesse. Sage Freeman's up next. There's that blue zig full.
Yeah, I got to say, it was the first time I've skated it on this trip, and yeah, in that deep end, it's a little daunting. And to see these kids half the size drop it in with no fear and so confident, it's awesome.
Yeah, it looks quite big when you're in there because, you know, you're surrounded on the four walls, but this is actually quite a small bowl compared to the combi pool and a lot of the ones in America, and it's also a super fun bowl. It's good to skate. All right, this is their last run, so yeah, check it out. This is Max. He's going to give it heaps, but great 5-0 there. I mean, nice backside air, so he's really setting it down, you know, and he will make it through the finals.
I'm looking forward to the under-16 final. It's going to be a good battle. There's some, you know, there's 6 good skaters in there.
Let's give it up for Max, everybody. He's starting to come off in the right way, man. Good work, Max.
It's packed. It's awesome to see all these people travel up to Mangawhai to support this contest. You know,
it's just going to go higher.
It's amazing. It's packed in there, and to see all the skaters come from all over the country to be here as well. You really have to make the effort to get up here, and to see everyone make that effort, it's insane.
Yeah, Mangawhai is an amazing town. This facility, you know, they've got mountain bike tracks, they've got workout tracks, they've got flying foxes, they've got a big street run. They have just done so much for this town, or this town has done so much for skateboarding. But this great facility, and they got the beaches here. So yeah, definitely come and visit Mangawhai. They host this weekend. The whole city hosts this weekend. The bars, the restaurants, the locals, and you know, it's just a great place. Heaps of places to stay, so definitely a good venue for a skateboard event. And all these people, the crowd, I mean, yeah, we're very fortunate in New Zealand to have an event with crowds, so more power to them. And crowd will get thicker and busier and a little more hyped as the Open and Masters come on in the afternoon.
Jesse, you're up next. Your last run of the day, man. Well, yes, you're in the finals, that is. Big frontside carve. This little Star Wars guy, this big old green boat.
There's a 10-year-old skater right here, 10-year-old come up from Auckland.
10-year-old on a 30-year-old board.
Yeah, that's the one.
You got that 50 this time, man. And then James will let you have that rebate.
Do you ever think when you started skateboarding, Dave, it would be an Olympic sport?
You know, a long time ago, we did actually think slalom was going to get into the Olympics, but then it just kind of faded out. So, no, I didn't think it would have a comeback. I do believe that the Olympics needs skateboarding more than skateboarding needs the Olympics because, you know, the world it's a changing place, you know, and, you go to any school in New Zealand, I'd say there'd be way more people skateboarding than there are doing hop, skip, and jump.
Yeah, it's changed so much. You know, when I first started surfing and skating, it was almost like the outlaw sport, and to see it come mainstream and become an Olympic sport, it's never ending either. It's just progressing so much every day.
Okay, the next heat is made up of Felix.
I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Jack Harris, Ace Finlay, and Ari Safer. So when you're ready, Felix.
All right, that was the end of Heat 1. There's 4 heats in the under 16, and I think the top 6 have gone through to the finals. Heat number 2 is coming up. Yeah. And, you know, we've got a couple of great skaters. Remus Henare from Taupo. I believe he is one of the current, you know, winners of the under 16 here at Mangawhai. Might have even won it a few years in a row. So it's going to be some good skating. And Felix, one of the new Palmerston North kids, 12 years of age. Yesterday I did 50-50 to fakie in the deep end, and that's punk rock. That's a real trick, you know. So, you know, it'd be great to see him pull that off today. So it's pretty exciting for these little guys to get out here and skate with all the other under 16 skaters from around New Zealand. But super big thanks, you know, now that these guys are just practicing. They got about a 10-minute warm-up before they get into it.
Here he goes.
Yeah, did a 50-50 fakie in the shallow end, so now he's got to step it up to the deep end. But, you know, great venue, great location. Big thanks to Jesse Peters for hosting this event for 10 years in a row. And to our amazing sponsors, you know, Vans being one of the main sponsors. You can see their stickers around the bowl. And, yeah, just really want to thank those guys for making this happen. Hey, you're sitting here and hopefully enjoying it at home. You're listening to Dave Crabb, being myself, a former pro skater, just watching today and helping out. And Miles is right next to me, and we're going to keep you guys informed for the afternoon.
Yeah, I was watching these guys yesterday. Remus here, such a smooth skater, beautiful style. Back Smith over that wall into the deep. Wow, this kid is ripping. Big, smooth backside here. In the air. That was a nice run, yeah. This final, these guys, is going to be so good to watch. This is New Zealand skateboarding's future right here, and these guys are sending it.
Here's our man Noah, when you're ready.
Little Noah stepping up. Backside turn. Just hit the coping there in the shallow end.
How old is this dude?
They look so small in this humongous bowl. Noah. I see Noah down in Raglan a bit. This guy's a big wave surfer too. He charges in the surf. And it's good to see him up here in the skate. Hitting the skate scene. Who we got next? Jake. This is the youngest guy. 7 years old. 7 years old, Jake Harris. Hitting the coping there. Cranking it around the bottom. Flying into the deep end. You know, when I was skateboarding, when I was 12, there was nobody. There's 7 doing this sort of stuff. This guy's got so much confidence in the bowl for a little guy.
Solid Jack.
He's going for a 900 there.
Finlay's up next.
Yeah. Who we got next? Ace.
Makes the back fed.
Ace Finlay. 10 years old. Coming from Akura. Backside disaster. Brings it in. Nice rock and roll. Nice and smooth. Such good styles, all these young guys.
Nice run.
Pops it out.
Finishes it. And Ari, you're up next, man.
Last person in this heat number 2. Ari. Chopping in the shallow. Nice turn in the pocket there. Back into the big end. Into the front side turn. Nice one. Flying into the disaster. He's going to pull it in. Muscles it over the coping. Nice clean 50-50. Big frontside carving turn. Nice work, Ari, staying on. Whoa, bit wobbly, and comes, loses the fakie.
Top of Felix.
Nice work.
Flea.
Back up to Fee.
Get it.
Such a powerful little skater, this guy. I was watching him yesterday. It's quite a good scene. And crew coming out of Palmy.
No way, he's even got his own t-shirt.
He's going to try it right now.
Team t-shirt.
I was actually Fee's father.
Nice.
Has been in the skate scene for a long time. He was running the indoor skate park and tracks. One of my first contests I ever went in.
Back 5 on the deep end.
Nice 5-0 in the deep end there. Super smooth. Oh, he's going for that fakey 50 in the deep end.
Heavy.
I think we'll be seeing that by the end of the day. Back up Remus in the front side 50-50. Front side Smith. Nice backside here. Into the deep. Little 5-0 grind. Front side the tail. Over that waterfall. 5-0 into the deep. Nice backhand. Just lets it go. This guy's got a ton of style. He's got a nice bag of tricks too.
Noah, let's do it, man. I reckon you're the youngest dude skating so far.
Back into Noah.
Chris. You know they're young when the wrist guards touch the elbow pads. Basically a whole arm pad.
Nice turns, Noah.
Shaka, 360.
Jackson,
Comes down fakey.
tail whip slide.
4 minutes to
Yeah,
go.
Noah.
Jack, you're up, man.
Like I said, this kid's actually a how little surfer too. You can see there going for a bit of a backhand slash. Bit of a buttons move. Into the youngest competitor, Jake.
Last year, he knows his bowl. He knows his
Get
way
these
around.
guys another year.
He's got some speed.
They're going to be
Sitting
flying
in
out
the
of the top of
goal.
this
Frontside
bowl.
here in the deep end.
Nice little front
Get
side
in.
here.
Right up
Into
the
a
top.
backhand
Nice
turn.
speed up there with the tiles. He catches the back truck there.
Yeah, little front side. Oh, it goes down.
Hey, quick little
See that, Jack?
quick little housekeeping. There's a Land Cruiser
Nice work, Jack.
LTN 126. You park like a coot in the entrance. So if you can move your vehicle, that'd be great. Toyota Land Cruiser LTN 126. Move your car, please. Appreciate it.
Must be Ace.
Up next, we've got Ace from Akura.
Jack, I want to see that transition from shallow to big, man. Front side, yeah, that was so legit.
A couple of backside turns. 50-50, front side grind.
Backside disaster.
Backside D.
Decent. Oh,
Pulls
yeah.
it in.
Man, that board is the board snapper right there.
Nice backside carve. Super smooth again. Rock and roll.
How good for growing skating
Front
this
side
year.
turn.
Next level.
Backside carve.
Super impressed. Most of them are like under 16s. You need to
Nice carving turns. Flies it out.
Features category.
Completes the run. Nice work.
Ari and the support team down there. Give it up for Ari.
Up next, last skater in the number 2 heat, the under 16s, Ari Schaefer, 9 years old,
Skater surfer.
coming out from Auckland. Surfs too. Nice carve there.
That front side carve.
Few figure eights.
Back
50-50, pulls it in. Nice work.
That purple here.
Hanging on to that one. 50-50's in.
That's the gear. Little greenery. This is going on here. Backside disaster.
Back there again.
Ari. Yeah, Ari.
All right, nice work, Ari.
Felix, you're up. This
Back
might be
to
a
the
last
top.
run.
Felix from Palmerston, 12 years old. Dropping in. Frontside carbs. Backside 50-50 in the small.
No intention of the competitor or winning, but purely because of low ones.
Nice quick turn there.
Front carve.
Backside 50s in the deep end.
Tell me what,
What's he got? 50-50, pulls it. Eee, nice work. It's a big move, 50-50 to fake in the deep end.
From the deep end.
Nice one. Still going up into the 50. Another carve.
I believe.
And nice front side 50 in that shallow.
It's really secret recipe, is it?
Little power skater. Not, and a 5-0 in the deep. It's a really good run there from Felix from Palmerston North. Up next, Remus. Coming from Topor. It's 14, nice Smith into the shallow there. Backside pop into the deep. Front backside 5-0. And a front side of the tail just comes down.
Quarters truck going for the front tail. Noah.
Nice work, Remus. Back with Noah. The little big wave surfer drops in. Looks super comfortable. Got all the pads on, nearly hits the coping. Yeah, Noah. All right. Another backside slash into the fakie. Back into the deep. Good work, Noah.
Somebody give the man a hand.
No, the little man. The little man in the biggest bowl.
Frontside transfer, dude.
Who we got next? We got Jake from Christchurch. Little frontside here.
This guy's got lines.
So good, eh?
Put him in the
These
final.
guys are unreal.
Put him in the final, judges. He's 7 years old.
7 years old. Hitting the top of this big in the bowl.
No, it's the way around. Where's he gonna go? I want to see if it's a help. Frontside here.
With the frontside here.
Standing up. It's good, it's good. It's all on course. Here we go. Over
Nice.
Nice one, bro. I reckon you got that over the dicky sticker, mate.
It's coming from Hamilton. Oh no, Christchurch Jake's from. It's such a strong skate scene coming out of Christchurch.
Nice, backside Finny round the corner. I reckon backside disaster. Boom! Seasons it out, pushes the tail. Almost goes Smith. Keeps it together. He's still in the game.
Yeah, we should be halfway through the second heat of the under-16s.
And last job we Ari Safer. Oh, here he is. I'm just claiming him as a local.
Back to the last skater, the heat number 2 for the under-16s. Ari Schaefer,
9 years old.
9 years old. Big carbs, heaps of speed. Nice and smooth.
Backside disaster.
Back
Oh,
D's.
back tail. Nice one, Ari. And our next heat will be kicked off with Monty Graham.
Okay, so that was the end of heat number 2. We're rocking into heat 3 of the under-16 division. Straight in there.
Yeah, it'll be rad. Heat number 3 got Monty Graham. He's a local here. He's 10 years of age, but he skates this bowl every day. He's a ripper, so it'll be great to see him skating, and a six-pack of other little guys. 4 heats in total in the under-16, and in the contest they have an 8-minute jam where they approximately get about 4 or 5 runs each, which are scored to take them through to the finals. So we're just going to take a little break now while these guys warm up and do a little practice, and then we'll come back to you and chat and talk you through heat number 3 as they get skating.
Right.
This is just so good for these kids to participate in, man. Getting amongst this level of skating when you're 8 years old, it's really impressive. Super good for their confidence. Like, I'm into it. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm a dad now, you know? I'm into it. Let the kids skate. Too right. throw a bucket. Theo Morse, you're up next. Get it, Theo. Well, next year, I reckon we need like a tunnel, and the skaters run through the tunnel, like everyone cheers, like entering a field. Why not? Like that. Dude's 14 years old. Jump to the back. Leonard, you're up next, dude. Straight in, so no mucking around. He's just blue steel, this guy. Straight up there, co-pin and in. He's not here to muck around. Front 5-0.
Oh, sorry, I misinformed you guys. These guys had a little warm-up before the under-16 started, so they're actually in their contest runs now. And had a couple of good runs, nice 50-50 in the shallow end. So these guys get about 4 or 5 runs, you know, to try and get a top score. There'll be top score will take them through. They get scored on style, use of the ball, hardness of tricks, and, you know, their ability. And also speed. When you skate a pool, it's about holding your speed and keeping your lines. I mean, you know, you watch a lot of these younger guys, they're pretty much going to ride the face wall of the deep end and the shallow end, just back and forth. The better guys are going to go over the waterfall and they're going to ride it a little bit more like a pool. But when you get to see the Open and the Masters, those guys are going to hit every single piece of this ball. Like, that's true pool skating, true bowl skating. So it changes a bit, you know, with their ability, that's for sure.
Then Hayden, 8 years old. Hayden's going to round out Heat 3.
Yeah, well, there's not too many places in New Zealand where you get to ride bowls like this. We only have a few in the country, really. So, yeah, it'd be great to see more of these bowls being made around the country. It's only going to make our skate scene stronger and stronger.
Yeah, that is a bit of the problem with the New Zealand skating. We have limited facilities of this caliber. So, you know, when our top guys, they go to the States, they go to Australia to compete and everything, they just kind of get there and they go, whoa, everything's so big, you know, and but big is good, you know. That's where you can go high, you can do big airs, and it's safer, you know. You won't see anybody doing, well, actually, there is one guy who'll do a 540 this afternoon, and he's actually coming up in heat number 4. Under 16, Zedon Fellows. Pretty sure he's going to bust out a 5 for us today. But, you know, this ball doesn't have enough wall or height for anyone to do a 900 or, you know, anything like that you would see in the X Games on a mega ramp.
Whoa.
This is Monty.
How is that
Monty
frontside Smith?
He's a ruler, dude.
10 years old.
10 years old. He weighs like 20 kilos, and he skates like a machine.
You can tell you don't get a frontside Smith like that by not practicing every single day.
Yeah.
In this bowl like that. You can tell this kid's a local. When I seen him skate the first time, I'm like, you're from here. There's no way you do Smiths like that without practicing every single day in your local bowl.
Yeah.
And this kid has got it on lock.
And I think he won an ice cream making that Smith about a month ago. His
No
first
way.
one he made. I was there, and we were giving him heaps, and he locked it in and stuck it. So yeah.
Well, so only for a month-old Smith,
it's a good one.
It's one of the best I've seen. And for a 10-year-old kid to be pulling out like this is what this bowl will do for you if you have this in your backyard.
2 more minutes to go.
It's going to make pro skaters.
Yeah, and 10 years old, you know, I mean, you know, most skaters, when they get some ability at 10, you know, 12, 13, they get some ability. Then when they start to get a bit of body weight, they start to learn to pump, and that's when they go high. Like when they start to get 15, 16, that's when, you know, these young guys, they just go into a whole new field. They start just going big, above head high with all their airs, keeping their speed, and then, wow, then, you know, the future's unlimited. This is Will. He's come up from Auckland to skate this weekend.
No, I think we're down to
oh, yeah.
3 low.
Yeah, you're
14.
right. Yeah, I think he might have skipped in, so yeah.
He's riding an old school board as well. Right. Going for a backside early grab.
Yeah, and this contest is free to enter for all these guys, and the best thing about skateboarding is actually getting everyone together. You know, so there's going to be a range of different abilities, but that's great. You know, these guys are going to feed off each other. They're going to go back to their hometowns, and they're going to learn all the tricks by the guys that were better than them. So, you know, free to enter, and it's just about bringing it in. So that's why we've got the 4 heats, and then they will have a final, and that's where you're going to see the top under 16 skaters in New Zealand.
And you would have been to most of these contests that they've had at the Mangawhai Bowl Jams?
I think I've been to 10 of the 10,
10
actually.
of the 10,
yeah.
so everyone. And it's just got bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah. The bleachers have got better. There's another row on them this year. I mean, Jesse just works so hard. There's so much behind-the-scenes stuff to make this happen. I mean, seems pretty simple, you know, when you just show up and everyone's here. But actually, to create the atmosphere, to get, you know, there's skaters from Wanaka here. There's skaters from Christchurch here, from Wellington, from Palmerston North, from Okura, you know, from all over New Zealand. And, you know, like to create the atmosphere, to make all of these people do this every year as an annual event is just great. And, you know, you get the help of the sponsors, you know, get a little prize package in there. And the community of Mangawhai just hosting it and being so welcoming, you know, in town as well as at the bowl here, it makes it worthwhile coming back every year. And that's why it's getting bigger and bigger every year. Bit of a shame this year. Some of the top New Zealand skaters are stuck overseas. You know, they've been training and practicing over there. And also, this competition does bring a 6-pack of Australia's top skaters. They come in, you know, to give us a bit of a nudge and try and take it out for us. So, shame they won't be here this year. Tanaya has won the girls event here. She's an Australian girl skater who will be skating in the Olympics this year if it goes ahead. So we were very fortunate to have her come and skate the last few years. So good to see. She took it out both years. And last year she even entered the Open as a girl and did place in the finals. So, you know, she is that good. So that's just great to see, and great for the girl skaters in New Zealand to get to see like Tanaya, you know, skating. And, you know, for them to go, wow, it's possible. We can be that good. So, you know, that was good. But, yeah, these little guys are having a ball anyway.
That's awesome to see so many people come out, even without the internationals here.
Here's my little buddy Monty, eh? Look at that. Oh!
Goes down.
Hurry up, you little piss.
They'll let him back in again because he fell off before he started. Yeah, he's trying to 50-50 into the bowl. Rolling in, he's locking his trucks on, and kick turns in. Nice 50-50 in the deep end. Yeah, locking in again. He's got a great speed line here. Here's his little front side, 50-50 in the shallow, holds it nice.
I can't wait to see this guy when he's an old, like 15 or something.
And here's the Smith grind you've been waiting for. Oh, no, he missed it that time. Get some speed up again.
Really cool kid too. I was turned up here the other day and he just came up and chatted to me straight away.
Yeah, he's got the hugest smile. He's just a happy kid.
Look at this.
Skating for the local skate shop.
Yeah, no, it's
skate
great.
Team.
It's great to have No Limits, a new skate shop in town, you know. Definitely cool for the locals and for people to get spare parts and everything.
Will, you're up next, man. Will Stevens.
So a lot of skaters in the under 16.
8 years old.
Yeah.
4 heats. It shows how popular skating is and how strong it is.
It's such a good sport. I mean, skateboarding is amazing. I mean, the best skateboard in the world will cost you about $150, you know. So it's not like, oh, he's got a better board than me. So, you know, like skateboards don't go faster than each other. It's all up to you. It's just, you know, all you need is a good skateboard, a good piece of wood, and, you know, like you can be as good as anyone. So it doesn't matter where you're from, what you got. A skateboard is not expensive. I mean,
it's pretty accessible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spare skateboards out there too.
Oh yeah, and, you know, and I always every time I I change my board a lot. You know, I'm a pretty big guy, and I like a fresh board. And I always hand them down, give them to someone. Someone at the skate park has got a chipped, dented board. Always pass it down. So always keep them going and make it happen.
Leo's up next. Lennon turns.
Yeah, they're pretty hardy piece of sport equipment, eh?
Yeah, you know, like depending on how much you skate, like your skateboard will last you a year. As a pro, I would be putting a new board together every 2 weeks.
I went down to Acid Skateboards and watched the boys make a couple of boards, and I was like, couldn't believe how much goes into making a skateboard, and then all we do is grab it and try and wreck it.
Yeah,
and
that's
just smash it to bits.
Basically, seven plies of maple veneers, laminated together with epoxy, and some of the better boards, some of them have some, a bit of high tech in them, but yeah, basically just epoxy, put in a press, and away you go. It's good to see in the background some of the locals, some of the heavyweights showing up, dropping in here, saying hi to us.
16s, and I'm getting straight into the women.
Judges, it's hard work today. He's on 16, turned it on. And it gets harder as the day goes on. It's going to be hard to weed out. How many people in our final? 6? 6. Yeah, 1 heat, 6 people. Cool.
So there's 4 heats competing today in the under 16s. Approximately 25 guys in the under 16s. They're going to go to a 6 cut, and there'll be a 6-man final. Final is going to come up after the girls skating later on this afternoon.
Heat 3.
Got Hayden coming up. One of the youngest, 8 years old. He's a little local boy. Got his turn sussed in the shallow, dropping back into the deep. Nice carving turns. It really does create these bowls kind of a surf style. Big turns on the big wall.
Yeah, so that's it for Heat 3. Heat 4. Now, Heat 4 has one of the guys I've been talking about. It's got Zeedham Fellows in it, and he's coming up from Wanaka. He's one of my favorite skaters in this division right now. He's got a bit of competition with Remus Henere and Max and Sam and Felix and stuff. But, yeah, this is a kid to watch out for. 13 years of old from Wanaka. Unfortunately, just doing some sports, playing. He broke his wrist like 2 weeks ago. So he's got a wrist brace on, so he's going to hold back. He can't go front side, he can't grab front side. But you watch the guy's style, it's really neat to see. Skating from Wanaka. We also got Bernard in here, coming from Metacana. He's great. He's a local. His dad's been working in the neighborhood. But look at this. This is his warm-up run. Just hey, how you doing? So, and Liam Hayes in this run, too. And I think he's a local ripper. So this will be a good heat to watch. There's only 5 guys in this heat. One of them is pulled out.
One local.
There he goes, dropping him from the deep end and transitions to the front side ollie.
Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard, he's been skating here a lot. He's got a nice ollie, and he's got a new line, so it'd be great to see if he can pull it off today. He's been trying really hard, and it's great to see him in the last 6 or 8 weeks. He's just got so much better.
14 years of age. It looks like no one in the under 16 is over 14.
Yeah.
It's really under 14.
Yeah, I guess.
Whoa, here we go.
Yeah, we got a little girl in the under 16s. Hey, under 16s, under 16s.
This is little Noah's sister.
Sneaking, the dude's coming. She's just orange. She doesn't want to know. She doesn't want to
She has no fear.
Harold, what are we talking? I reckon 3.5.
2.5 feet.
Great judge of age, but she might be 4. Same. Full tie-dye, hits a toe.
Travelled up from Hamilton for this contest, she did. With their old man.
Gutsy performance right there. Dropping it. I think that's triple head.
They can cook a mean paella too, this family.
You're not wrong there.
Let's give it up, everyone.
That was better than Zeedham's run.
Yeah, look at this. She gets a little hand out of the bowl.
Oh, there's Papa. Papa pulling her up.
So sad.
Who we got in here? So someone's pulled out.
He's got the backdoor stick as well.
Is it Kobe?
Down from the backside, 30-30. And up next, the rebirth of the Blue Bullets. He's reborn as Safari Man.
Yeah, so cool to see Liam skating today. Had a few things happen, but he skates fast. He skates good, and he's just dropping in today for a ride. He's
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I see Liam going to be a skateboarder force in New Zealand for a long time to come. And
yeah, he's just been taking a break this year.
Yeah.
Just had a few other things going on, but showed up today and seen all his buddies here, and he's all, I'm not going to watch, I just want to join
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Nice front side of the tail there.
Just entered last minute.
Yeah, he couldn't help himself, eh? Once you get here, you see everyone pushing it and you want
Yeah.
going harder and harder. You just can't help yourself. You want to get in there and go as hard as you can as well.
Just young Zeden dropping in. Check
Zeden.
this out, right here,
Beautiful.
right now. Boom, on that wall. That's where he's going to do a 5 probably in his next run.
Ollie's in line.
Backside boneless over the hip. See what I was saying about riding different parts of the pool? Like, he just went over the hip and, you know, in the shallow. So, yeah. Unfortunately, he's skating at about 30% right now. So,
Bernard, you're up next.
yeah,
Wow,
that's
only 13 years of age and bonus into that big pool.
yeah, but going over that hip is different. It's hard.
Front side Ollie, in the deep end. So,
Oh, just come unstuck. All good.
So Bernard from Matakana.
Yeah, just over the hill. Travels 45 minutes to come and skate here. He's a lucky
All
guy.
right, crowd. Let's give it up for the raddest microgrom. Now you guys can go louder than that. Let's get it.
Heiner drops in. Everyone's amping her up.
Yeah.
Big wheelie turn in the deep. Front side goes down.
Give it up.
Yeah. Hey, she's trying and she's having fun, and it's just great to see, you know, someone just dive in there and enter late at the under 16s.
give it. Kobe, you're up next.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about.
Switch up. Is it heavy metal?
It's really quite daunting of all these people looking in the bowl to get in there and to actually get up in front of everyone and drop in. It's not as easy as it looks.
Kobe pops off the front fitting, jumps to the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah, sometimes on those 50-50s, what she was trying to do, if you don't keep your body weight inside the ball, then, you know, like it slows down and then it's a bit hard to recover from it. So,
Liam, Safari Man back in here. So smooth. Those powerful little turns.
Hazy.
Front tail. Come on, bro. You can do it.
Back to the top. Zedem Gallows. 13
yeah,
years
Zeta
old.
might have to up his ante a little bit. He's had a couple of short runs, you know, so he's got to make it into the top 6. But just got that beautiful
Oh.
air. I mean, it's pretty hard to beat, you know.
Has time in the air to get that grab, get that positioning.
Little backside methody.
Let's give it up for Zayden, everybody.
Z-Boy, he might be a little hung up. He's got a broken wrist, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
Diagnosed broken wrist just last week. Almost didn't
Skating
go.
with a broken wrist.
Fights. Good to see him
Yeah.
here. Big ups. Brendan, you're up, man.
Verdant from Matakana up next.
Yeah, he's got a good ollie. His board sticks right to his feet.
There it
Nice.
was. Just starting to get it out of the top end of the bowl.
50-50 in the deep end. He just learned last week. So, yeah, nice to see him
Nice.
stick that.
So you've been down here skating with a lot of these kids over the last few months, getting
Yeah, I've been
Warming
down
up for
here
this
pretty
event.
much the last 8 to 10 weekends. I've probably been skating here at least 2 to 3 times a week, you know, so been working with a lot of these guys, helping them out, and also, you know, training myself. So, yeah, it's just such a good location, great place to skate.
Head to toe, tie-dye.
Give it up.
and now with Skateboarding
Yeah.
New Zealand have an association. You think that we're going to see more of you, Dave, helping the younger kids coming through?
Yeah,
giving them an
definitely.
experience?
Like, I mentor a few people around the world, you know, training for the Olympics and everything. So it'd be really great, you know, to work in New Zealand, you know, and just try and get these kids. The biggest thing is to get these kids together to skate with each other, so that, you know,
Keep pushing
they-
each other.
Yeah, they got to have energy and they got to have atmosphere and they got to know. And so, yeah, great to see Andrew Morrison on the sideline there, and he's just taking his daughter Billy over because girl skaters are coming up pretty soon, so.
Yeah, and a little girl from, she was living out Raglan for a while there. She's in Hamilton now, and they're just frothing on skateboarding. Absolute little charges, I tell you.
Yeah,
in and out of the water, bro. These guys they got a lot of energy, and they just go all day.
Kobe.
Up next is Kobe Corlett, and this is actually the local and the youngest in this heat.
Pops up to the 50-50, doesn't quite make a stick. Good chance to get it. Liam Hayes.
Yeah, Liam's just playing around today, but it would be great to see him stick this tail slide.
Yeah.
Such a good trick, and he does what he does well, so he's just got to stomp it.
You need it too. Here's our man, all the way from Zimbabwe.
All the way from Zimbabwe, it looks like he's coming.
Guaranteed line sighting.
Yeah, Liam. Oh.
Good up for Liam.
All right. Back to the top of the order. Possibly the last run. They might get one. They got a.
Women's warm-up.
I think that was it, bro.
Alrighty.
It's the 2 runs of the heat.
Yeah. Hey, so hopefully we'll see those guys get through to the top 6 in the finals. Girl skaters are coming up now, the women's heats, so they're going to just have their little 10-minute of practice before they go into their scored contest runs. So just want to thank our sponsors, Vans and Backdoor, Bahamas, Santa Cruz, Manual Skateboard Magazine, and Skull Candy, for helping us out today and making this happen. And, hey, I'm Dave Crabb, and I'm just going to go and take a break right now, and you've been chatting here with Miles and I. Just watch them, and we'll be back to walk you through the girls' contest runs. Hey, and thanks so much for joining us. Cheers.
Levels. Are we live?
Oh. And we're live.
We are live. Apparently we are live. So, Dave and Miles have left the hot seat, and as Dan, our vision mix, has just told us, you've got the B team. So I'm Paul, and next to me, not that you can see him, is the very hirsute Chris Curran, looking ginger and deadly and ready to call the women's division Heat 1. So, Chris, You know, we've got a pretty hot lineup. How's it looking?
Yeah, we've definitely got a stacked heat with the girls here. It's going to be really good to see some females smashing it. We saw in the under-16s, one of the girls snuck on through in there, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, and so, you know, like I said, we've got people from Auckland, Taupo, and, you know, around the country. How big is the girls' skate scene getting now?
It's really taken off in New Zealand. If you're on Instagram, you'll definitely see that there's the Girls Skate Kapiti, there's Mulder Girls Skate, there's Girls Skate New Zealand, there's Girls Skate Zine. There's just all of these different crews throughout New Zealand starting their own little clubs and groups that are getting together. So the girls, they're really getting down, really active in skateboarding. It's really good to see.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I mean, like, so many people out today watching this event. Like, we've got the shots of the crowd here, and you know, the atmosphere is sick. Thanks for joining us on the live stream. If you can ever make it up to Mangawhai, this place is sick. We've got the big bowl here, and you know, you can see, I think that's Billy Morrison there just flying into the bowl. Her dad's Andrew Morrison, who you'll catch later on. But, you know, like, if people wanting to get into it, like you say, there's all the different scenes, are they best to hit the social media and start searching for their local groups?
Yeah, if you're a girl and wanting to get into skateboarding, talking to one of those different clubs on Instagram would be a great way to go. Or just turn up to your local skate shop. They're really good to help you out. Really want to get you into skateboarding. Can help you as much as you need. You can see all these girls here. A lot of them have actually come through Girls Skate NZ. Which Amber Clyde looks after, and it's a great skate school up in Auckland that really just gets girls into skateboarding and helps them on their way.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I don't want to, you know, give away my age, but when I was young, and it was quite a long time ago now, we didn't have any girls skateboarding whatsoever, and you know, it made for a pretty, you know, could make for a bit of a testosterone-fueled environment, but it feels like the vibe is totally changing.
That's it. I know when I was growing up, there's probably one girl that I could name that was a good skateboarder. These days, it's just so many girls getting into it. It's really changing that. Skateboarding has always had a really good community and a really great culture and a great way to support each other. And I think girls are now just getting in where they're actually being more accepted and finding it easier to get amongst. It's really good to see. I mean, you can see these girls here really getting down. This bowl is not small.
No, it would be fair to say it's pretty intimidating, and you know, we've got one of the girls taking the drop into the deep end here now. How deep is this bowl?
It gets banded about, I think it's about 11.5 feet.
Okay, so just to put, let's put a bit of context in. If you go stand on the guttering on your roof, you most probably need a step ladder.
Yeah.
And that's about how high it is.
And that's just the height of the coping. A lot of these girls are going to be going up onto the coping, and they'll probably be doing aerial maneuvers outside of the coping. So again, you're going 11 feet to the coping, and then, you know, add 5 foot for how tall they are, plus a little bit of air underneath them. You're getting out, you know, like up to your 18, 20 feet out.
Yeah, and I mean, that sounds scary, and it is, and it's definitely a rush. But the really cool thing about transition skating is because the bowls are so smooth, you can see like this bowl's been built by Jason Parks, who's an incredible park builder. And, you know, this thing is super smooth with the right pads, the right safety gear. You know, you can start pumping from the bottom, build your way up. And that's one thing I love it today. Like, we've had some amazing shouts for some of the smallest skaters, you know, pushing their limits. And it seems like everybody really appreciates the level that people are operating at.
To have this setting in Mangawhai, where it's a real surf culture, being able to have people jump in the bowl, do a few carves, get their little surf carve on, it's really awesome just to have, you know, this concrete jungle set in an amazing surf city.
Yeah, and, you know, like, the good thing about skateboard bowls is you can't drown in them.
No.
You know, completely no water involved. So the thing I love to surf and I love to skate, but the thing I love about skateboarding is it's always there. You don't have to wait for the conditions to be right. If it's dry, it's on, you know.
We don't have many sharks in skateboarding. We do often have a lot of snakes. And you might have seen some of them in the previous competition. And snaking and skateboarding is if actually you're going to take a turn when it's not your go and you get in front of there.
Yeah, and the occasional lounge lizard. I got to say, I was digging the dude in the pit helmet from the last there was ruling some very retro styles there. They were saying his name was the Blue Bullet. Jay's called him, the Safari Man, but I think he's the Beige Bomber. And but again, expression. You can skate how you want. You can do what you want. What's the appeal of that to people?
I think the creativity it's massive. First off, you get to decorate your own skateboard. You get to choose your own parts. You've got your wheels, your bearings, your trucks, your hardware, grip tape. You can do what you want to do. You'll see, some of the girls have tie-dye. Some of them have, one of them has a Simpsons character on their grip tape. It's just something that you get to be creative in what you do. Again, with your safety gear, choose your different coloured helmet. It's a full fashion statement on what you want to do, and it's an expression of actually your style. How you skate is one thing, but also how you build your skateboard and how it looks is the second thing.
Yeah, I mean, super fun, right? Like everybody wants to have their own viewpoint of the world, and that's a cool thing about skateboarding is you can be your own person. You know what I mean? And it's really, really great to see that these young girls are just ripping and expressing themselves in lots of different ways. It's super cool.
And a lot of these girls, they're friends first, and they skate together, and they really just push each other in new directions. But they also, they compete. They do challenge each other. But it's in the end of the day, they're all really happy just to actually be able to skate together. And I think we have about 12 girls in this competition, which is it's great to see.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, where do you think, overseas we're starting to see some of the girls really fly and, obviously the Olympics are coming up, what is the future for, young, female skaters if they want to go down that road?
Yeah, with the Olympics, we've got skateboarding actually at Tokyo later this year, which should be really awesome to see. There'll be some really good girls skateboarding there. But we've also seen it come to Paris in 2024. So I would not be surprised if there's a girl from New Zealand in the Olympics in 2024. The development coming through. All of these girls, they're all, 10 to 14, 10 to 15. In 4 years, they're going to be 18, 19-year-old girls or women in their prime. It's going to be amazing to see.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, there's some pretty cool role models inside New Zealand, in the board sports crossover area. I know that, Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott, from a snowboarding point of view, has just picked up, her third medal at the Aspen X Games. And what does she do for a cross-training sport, Chris? Tell me about it.
So she's definitely skateboarding a lot. We see her down at the pump track in Wanaka all the time. She really rips on a skateboard. She's one of those ones that I think Snow Sports picked for her skateboard ability. She grew up with a ramp in the backyard. She's amazing at skateboarding, and you can see that she's amazing at snowboarding too. Yeah. There's a lot of crossover there.
And it's what's really cool when you're listening to Zoe too is, just picking up on what you were saying before. For her, she's always got a trick in her mind that she's driving her own goals and getting that personal progression in terms of where she wants to go. And it feels like the results sort of flow from her own motivation versus beating people, sort of different mindset. What's that about?
It's having that goal in mind. A lot of these girls will be skating against themselves today. It is going to be a competition against their friends, but it's going to be pushing themselves as far as they can go. They've all got a really good base level, and we're going to see a few of the girls will probably push themselves out of their comfort zone, and they'll probably get up into the placings and definitely make it into the finals. It's going to be a real great opportunity for a few of these girls who maybe haven't skated competitions before to get a real feel of how that actually goes, and can you skate in front of 1,000 people?
Yeah, and so for all those soccer mums out there and netball dads and whatever, trying to wrap their head around skateboarding, as a sport in inverted commas. What's your best advice? You've got a little potential mini shredder that you've just brewed up. What would your advice to other parents whose kids are getting into skateboarding and they're trying to wrap their head around it?
It would definitely be let them have a turn, give them a go. If you can find one of those local clubs, try to get amongst. It's a really great thing for girls to actually find out their own limits and then push through those limits. If you fall, you get back up again. You're wearing the correct safety gear, so it's not going to hurt too bad if you do fall over. But it's something that you're going to see smiles on their faces at all times. You can see the girls warming up now. A few of them are just getting their legs warm. They're really going to be just busting it out once the competition starts.
And then Chris,
I mean, I know, like when I started skateboarding, my mum was super into it. She would, like, I remember her walking into a room, and this is the days of VHS videos, and I just got the latest Bones Brigade video, and she walked into the room and, like, perfectly could call tricks. She was like, wow, that was an awesome twist. That was at least 6 feet out. And I'm like, holy heck. My dad, who's like, this is not cricket. It was an interesting sort of a vibe, you know, in terms of them wrapping their head around it. But, you know, they were stoked I was having fun.
I think that is changing, that more mums and dads can actually support their daughters into the sport. But there's a pathway in the future going forward.
No. Louder than that.
This is it. So we're looking to get in.
All right. We're in there.
Good to go.
So we've got Emma Helgard up first, and she is from Orewa.
Holy moly, this is crazy. We've got a big field of women competitors here today. So six.
Building up a nice bit of speed with a couple of backside carves.
Getting some figure eights going in the bowl, little kick turn.
Yeah, she's using the bowl and sort of, you know, making
Nice
some
run,
lines.
lands it clean. That's it. What a way to start off the women's event. No slam. Jessica Reddy.
We've got Jessica Reddy coming up next.
15 years old. You're up next.
So if you do want to jump on to Instagram, check out Double Decker.
I love the
This is Jessica. She's an amazing street skater, and she's just become, I don't know, it looks like she's an amazing bowl skater at the same time.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, obviously it's skateboarding. There are a couple of, for want of a better word, genres. We're hitting the transitions today, but you mentioned street skating. When, you know, Tokyo happens, what divisions will people be able to see?
Yeah, so there's going to be park, which is similar to the bowl skateboarding, a little bit more open, and then your street. We have the opportunity with people like Jessica, who she's just ripping right now with a back D before. She's one of those ones that could be actually a double discipline skateboarder, which would be pretty exciting. You can see a little ollie on the hip, showing off some of her street skills there.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like you say, park actually combines elements of bowl skating and street, right? Throwing kickflips.
Woo! Yes, sir.
Yeah, so like if you are a street skater, mix it up, you know, sort of get out there and, you know, hit some transitions, because A, it's all super fun, but B, if you're thinking about, you know, sort of, you know, doing all sorts of stuff, the skills cross over really beautifully.
There we go, Raya Henarain. Raya's done really well in these competitions the last few years.
Yeah, and Raya's from Taupo, right? And big skateboarding family, you know, the old family that skates together, as they say. Or maybe I just made that up.
Probably a new phrase, but it's good. We'll take it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Raya's also probably, I think she might be the world Muay Thai champion. So she's definitely dual discipline in another sense.
So when we were talking earlier about snakes, she is one person you don't want to snake. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That the Muay Thai, not somebody to be trifled with.
Not so much. Oh, here we go. Holly with a nice 50-50. Holly Russell. She's from Silverdale down in Auckland. Going for a little 5-0 slash in the deep end there.
Yeah. And with, you know, with Mangawhai, obviously the Aucklanders are lucky that, you know, within about an hour and a half drive, you've got this insane park. Invert, rad. So, like, with, you know, with this, how many people are traveling and road tripping and getting around the country to hit different spots?
If we look at the start list, I mean, we've got people from all around the North Island. We've got Krista Ashwell in the next heat. She's come up from Christchurch. So you've really got a wide spread of people from not just Aucklanders. You've got people from around New Zealand.
Yeah. And obviously the construction of the parks and, you know, building these bowls right's a really important factor, you know, like if there's any, you know, councillors or people involved in civic stuff, what should they be thinking about when they're designing skate parks?
Well, it's about the longevity. If you build something for, you know, a 2 to 3 year old kid, they're going to probably be 4 to 5 in a couple of years. So these girls here, you can see that they're, you know, like about 10 to 15, but they're skating essentially the biggest things you can skate. And you can see they're doing really well. They're really pushing themselves.
Yeah, so you've got to allow a bit of headspace for progression, right? You know, and when obviously we're seeing the tricks getting, you know, more and more technical and higher, and it's, you know, I remember sort of sitting there watching videos and going, oh, skateboarding can't get any sicker than this, and it just hasn't it?
It will. And people will just keep pushing themselves and just making up new things.
Yeah, and like you say, we were talking before about, you know, people being motivated by finding, you know, the next trick for themselves to push them on. So it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. We just had Jess and Sarah go a moment ago, and Jess and Sarah are part of a crew, the JLS crew. Again, check them out on Instagram. There's actually 3 of them, Jess, Sarah and Luca, and they all, just a group of friends that busted out, do some amazing skating together. They'll definitely be on the radar in the future.
And also too, you know, like skateboarding culture is really, really interesting. Obviously, you see our sponsor, our naming sponsor here today, Vans skateboard shoes, have transcended skateboarding in a, you know, part of popular culture. But interesting you talking about these crews getting together, skating, filming their tricks. You know, like a lot of these guys are potentially little future media moguls, aren't they?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a little bit of branding opportunity with these kids coming up. You can see a lot of people are actually wearing No Limits t-shirts, and that's a local shop here in Mangawhai. And even the ones that aren't from Mangawhai, they're just really getting amongst and actually supporting the local community, which is really great to see.
Yeah, so like with the boards and the gear and the stuff, obviously, you know, the whole Californian surf skate culture is a massive influence, but, you know, has New Zealand got its own distinct feel and vibe sort of building up?
It's definitely coming. We've got some brands that have been around for a long time, and they've kind of lasted through all of the global financial crises and through the pandemics and all of that, and they're really just supporting New Zealand skateboarding. And I think you can see all of these girls, they've got their own vibes.
Whoa, backside ollie over the hill.
Jessica with just a sweet backside ollie. And these girls definitely rocking their own styles.
Been a tidy run so far.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you're thinking about getting gear, you know,
the kickflip to fakie.
Lands the kickflip fakie. Super nice run. She's going to be scoring some good points there. So what are the judges looking for in these runs?
That's it. So, I mean, she's pulled out a trick, which I don't know if we're going to even see any of those in the Opens, to be honest. And the men's, that was pretty crazy. Judges are going to be looking for, like, difficulty. You know, how was the trick performed? Where did they try to do that trick? How often do they do the same trick in a row? And it's a real challenge with skateboarding, is trying to do unique tricks in unique places. You've got the opportunity with skateboarding in a bowl like this. You know, you've got a deep end, a shallow end, you've got a hip where the bowl kind of merges, you've got the waterfall, you've got a flat wall, a round wall. It just changes a lot.
Yeah, and each part of these bowls, right, means that the different tricks are more difficult potentially in different places. Like obviously doing something in the deep end is a bit scarier than doing it in the shallow end, but you know, how are people using the hips, and how hard is it to do a trick over the hip, like we saw before with the front side, with the backside ollie over the hip?
Yeah, that's it. It really, the hip comes up on you fast. I don't know if you've ever jumped in there. It's a real challenge to actually skate these hips. They're really steep. Sometimes they almost feel inverted. So for her to be able to do a backside ollie over a hip, it's pretty epic to see. And you just take that bigger and bigger too.
Yeah, no, it's rad. There's seeing some really great skating. And again, going back to sort of thinking about people getting into this, you know, you were talking about customizing the boards and everything, and we were talking about the importance of, you know, the scene and supporting the brands that support skateboarding. So, you know, obviously we've got the likes of Santa Cruz Skateboards, who make skateboard decks, Independent Trucks, Spitfire Wheels. These are all companies that, you know, specifically, you know, build purpose-built skateboarding equipment. If you're thinking about getting your kids into skating, it's not an expensive sport. You don't have to pay to skate at these parks. But what's a good quality setup sort of going to set back, you know, a beginner skater who's wanting to try this out?
Well, these days there's just such support for the younger ones wanting to get into skateboarding. You can actually go and buy a complete skateboard for about $70 to $80 from a skate shop, and you're going to get a couple of years of use out of that, all going well, depending on how fast they excel through skateboarding. It is a thing that if you go to, you know, your Rebel Sports or your warehouse and buy a skateboard, the enjoyment factors can sometimes actually be lost with slippery wheels, and things can kind of not turn as well as they should. So invest in a small amount at the start. Probably will get you a little bit more fun going forward. Oh, is that a little hand turn?
Yeah, you've
little
got the
little
slide.
Bertleman.
Yeah, a little Bert slide straight out of the 70s.
Loving this.
from 40 years before she was born.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, I mean, that's a great thing, right? So like, head down to your local backdoor skate shop. They've got knowledgeable people who work there who skate, and they will be able to help you out with a setup, that fits your budget, but will also last, roll nice, turn well, and just make everything a little bit easier. Oh,
Krista. So Krista's one that she's taken this event out a few times. Wouldn't be surprised to see her in the finals. There you go, backside air.
Yeah, like smooth, right? And like really nice flow. So slash. Big frontside grind there on the deep end. So
Krista and Raya, who are both skating. Well, Raya was in the last heat and Krista's now in this heat. Oh, so Krista's actually in the second heat, so she just got in for a little early run. Krista and Raya are both skating, trying to represent their country for that Olympic qualification.
Yeah, so Krista and Raya both came to the last Olympic camp, right? Where tell us a little bit about the camp and what the aim of that was.
Yeah, so with partnership with the IOC, Skateboarding New Zealand was able to get together and actually get some funding to try to put on a camp to help our athletes or our skateboarders grow in their personal abilities, as well as trying to get some different skills off the board. So it's not often in New Zealand we get to have all of our best skateboarders together. We have these competitions like this where we'll bring them all together and they'll all skate. But at these times they're typically competing against each other. So we thought we'd give them an opportunity to come together and work as a team, looking to represent New Zealand and actually work on their soft skills, as well as trying to get better at skateboarding.
Yeah, because for a lot of people that are skating, we're seeing these riders now take going to the backside invert. Sort of looking at how they prepare and stay injury free and everything, right? And everybody's like, that's a bit jockish, but it's actually really about extending your skate career, having more fun, isn't it? The less time injured, the more time riding. That's
it. Strength and conditioning and getting into a gym is becoming a thing in skateboarding a little bit more, where people just want to be able to skate as much as they can.
Yeah. I'm going to, crazy story here. I used to skate vert ramps, and the weirdest combination of crossover sports ever. While skating vert, I took up racing triathlons, and I didn't bike train. I just skated vert ramps, and I could ride a bike really fast because my quads were hella strong.
Well, that's it. Yeah, maybe skateboarding's their secret too. Oh, and Billy Morrison with a back disaster. This run is going off. Little frontside here.
So Billy's got the secret skate coach dad. You can watch out for her dad, Andrew Morrison, later on. So Billy comes from some pretty good pedigree. But again, 2 generations, they get out. They're up here all the time in Mangawhai skating and just love this, and it's a really great example of a sport that you can do together, roll around, have fun.
It's Billy just loves skateboarding. You see her on her Instagram all the time, just learning tricks every day. Really cool. And Billy and Elia Huia, Elia Pointer, they just skate together a lot, and you can see, Ella came down to Wellington and I think she took out the mini ramp competition in Wellington.
Sweeper.
Nice sweeper there. You can see she's got some tricks up her sleeve.
Yeah, it is. It's so cool to see that. And again, these guys, big part of the girl skate scene in Birkenhead, yeah?
Yeah, so I think Billy and I'm not unsure if Elia Huia are part of the girl skate crew, but they definitely get amongst with all of the other girls that are skating.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's great to see them, sort of getting into it and enjoying it so much. And we've got the replay here of the sweeper. Yeah. That is a gnarly trick because you're dropping back into the bowl with your back foot off the board. So all your weight's on your front foot. So it's really easy to go over the front and see what the flat bottom, the shallow end tastes like if you get that wrong.
If you're not getting back on your board, you're probably going to have a bad time.
Yeah. There have definitely been some bad times attempting sweepers in my life.
Here we go, Krista. Oh, going for a bit of a whirly bird there, a bit of a Tony Hawk trick.
Yeah, that is the classic Tony Hawk. And we're not talking about the video game, we're talking about the real thing, where he basically heads up the wall backwards and then spins the board around his front foot back onto the tail and drops in. And it's a really hard trick.
So we've got Alice Westerkamp and her brother Sam was in the under-16s as well. They've actually got a ramp and a bowl at their house. So I think she might have only got into skateboarding about 3 years ago. I actually helped move the ramp into their yard and helped screw that one down, and you can see that she's just improving in leaps and bounds. so good to see.
Yeah, and she's rocking the Vans tee there, and has got, you know, embracing the whole style ethos there with a bit of black on black.
I think if you've got a backyard pool built by Jason Parks, yeah, you're probably part of the core skateboarding community at that point in time.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling more than a small bit of envy there, but how cool is that her family's that into it?
Yeah, that's the support. Brilliant.
Lines in here. Coming up. She got.
Building up a bit of a head of steam here.
There's Lani going for it. Lani's the regular at these Mangawhai Bowl Jams.
So just missing the 50-50 there, but showing some really nice speed and pace, and the working higher and higher up the wall. I'm pretty sure she'll be hitting the coping hard soon.
And Lani's one of the ones that she's actually a really good surfer, doing really well in competitions right now. So those cross-training skills, skateboard flow really crossed over to surfing and vice versa.
Yeah, I'm loving, the sort of respect shown between all the different board sports now. And I know that, with Skateboarding New Zealand, you guys have been talking with snow sports, surfing, trampolining, right? About, sort of collaborating on, how some of those skills cross over. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're looking to do some coaching and development work with snow sports, surfing, and trampolining in the high performance space, which is just about developing, all of those aerial awareness skills that you're going to require, your onboard skills, your fast twitch, and all of the things you're actually going to need to be successful. Snowboarding, or the snow sports with snowboarding and skiing, they've been actually doing really well the last few years. We've got the likes of Nico and Zoe who are taking out medals. They're currently just winning the X Games competitions themselves right now. You've got surfing with the likes of, Ricardo, Christie, and a few of the other surfers that have done really well around the world.
Paige and Ella,
Yeah, Paige definitely killing it. And then trampolining, we've got some really strong aerial awareness skills and just some really strong athletes there. So why not try to leverage what already has great framework and build off that?
And also, trampolines are just super fun, right? And the stuff those guys are doing in terms of that air awareness, right, and learning to spin, that's obviously, as people are moving forward, a really, really big thing. It's kind of cool. I've had the pleasure of being involved and getting a bit of insight into the Snow Sports New Zealand program, and you're seeing these guys using the trampolining and using airbags and learning a lot of these new tricks in really, really safe ways, right? And then bringing them into the natural terrain and just sending it.
Yeah, that's something that is kind of yet to be developed completely for skateboarding, that most people are just learning as they go. And doing amazing tricks like that.
Yeah.
No room for error.
Yeah, and I suppose, snow, water and tramps are all a bit softer than concrete, right? So it is one of those things that it takes a bit of mental commitment. I mean, how tough are these people? I mean, are they really hardcore, or are they just sort of people who have actually just built their way up and then find themselves doing amazing things?
Oh, all of these girls have probably, they've put on, they're down on the skate park all day, every day. And that's the heats over.
Chris is just like, nah, guys,
yeah, Chris is just getting another one in, seeing if she can do one for the crowd.
I bet she's got something in mind here, yeah, backside here.
See if she can get that little whirly bird going.
Here we go. No.
Little front slash.
Yeah. Oh. Pretty close. She's just got to get it to the tail, right? And then commit to the drop.
So we've got some open warm-up going on. And on that note, I'm actually going to be skating in the open competition. So.
Yeah. So be prepared for a whole lot of uneducated dribble, because Chris is going to leave me on my own, and we'll see him there doing his thing.
Sorry, got to love you and leave you. But, I'll see you out there on the airwaves.
Yeah,
talk to you shortly.
Yeah, well, I'm going to make sure, I promise I'll say really nice stuff about you and how skillful you are, but, who comes after you? Oh, who have we got to look forward to in the open list? We're just scrambling for the heat sheet here. But they might
have taken it back to update the heats, I think.
Yeah.
We can see some of the dudes warming up.
Stay tuned as we get the heat sheets. We're going to have that coming down from the judging panel. But I hope you enjoyed watching the girls division, because it's pretty rad, you know, what they're doing, and you are really seeing the future. Keep an eye on those names, follow them on Insta, and yeah, get out there and get amongst it.
Josh Wilson, Stefan, Roland.
Alright, we're doing skate. Wrestling bow.
I didn't make it to finals. But we'll be back this year.
Hey, Sidekick Grimlet, how do you think he's going to go?
This one?
I think he's going to win.
I reckon you're going to win. You do a cross there.
I'm voting for him too, alright? Let's see how he ends. Go get it in, Jen. How are we going to do this one again?
Hi guys, welcome back. Hey, you're here with Dave Crabb, commentating, helping you guys out today, and I'm sitting here with Paul Gunn. You get that? Hey, and we're just about to start the open heats of the 10th annual Mangawhai Bowl Jam, sponsored by Vans, Backdoor, Bahamas, Santa Cruz, Manual Skateboard Magazine, and Skull Candy Headphones. So awesome day up here in Mangawhai. It's not too hot, so the skaters are stoked. Right now, we just got a bit of warm-up going on for the open heats, and going to see some amazing skating today. We've got 3 heats, about 6 guys in each heats, and out of those, 6 of them will make it through to the final. First heat's got a couple of heavy hitters. It'll be really great to watch. Second heat's got one of the Iranian champions, Bowman Hansen. He's got a bit of whiplash, a bit of a sore neck today, but a bit of adrenaline. I mean, the guy is unbelievable to watch, so can't wait for the second heat as well. And the third heat, Tom Mitchell, Jackson, some crazy, good skating there. Also, Niwa Sherry, 14 years old, did not skate in the under-16s, is one of New Zealand's up-and-coming top skateboarders, and, be really great to watch. He will be trying for the win today, and I think it's going to come down to him and Bowman Hansen. And, depending who's on the money today, will take it out. So it'll be really great to see, the young gun like Niwa Sherry from Okura, stepping it up and trying to take out Mangawhai Bowl Jam. He's won the under-16s before, and, he's recently won the Kerry Bowl Jam, Vert Ramp contest, and some other contests. So, unfortunately, due to COVID, there's quite a few Australians and some other. Sean Boucher, one of the previous winners, won't be able to make it this year because he's stuck in Australia. But Niwa has been traveling and skating. I've actually skated with him over in San Diego, spent some time at Tony Hawk's Ramp and Linda Vista and some of the other great parks with Niwa, so it'd be great to see him here today. I haven't seen him skate this bowl. He did come up a few weeks ago for practice sessions, and I know he's got a great stalefish and pretty good front truck grind, and he's got a lip slide over the hip. Watching the guys skate this bowl, it's all about where they do their tricks. The face walls are pretty easy. They're pretty good, but anybody who can ride the hip and the coping over the waterfall and the sidewalls, they're the ones that will be drawing the lines. Right now, Caden practicing, just did a boneless into the bowl. So these guys probably got another, maybe up to 5 minutes practice, if that, and then they go into 3 heats, which are their scored runs to try and make it through to the finals. So it should be a good show. I mean, really great skating to come. Got some high-tech guys, got some guys that go big, so it'll be great to watch.
So, Dave, you're just talking about the high-tech and the guys who go big. With the judging, obviously skateboarding is a very fluid sport. It allows people to sort of ride and sort of express their style in different ways. How hard is it for the judges today to figure out, a big air versus a flip trick or something along those lines?
The judges will be looking for pretty much 3 things. I mean, really the style of the skater, the use of the bowl, and because it is a bowl contest, not like a ramp, it is the use of the bowl, like trying to hit all the walls and all the spots. And then also, like, tricks are harder on different walls, so judges will take that into consideration. And then it's the degree of difficulty. And, they're going to think in their heads, like certain airs, you got your basics and stuff, but when you start going stalefish and indie air and a tail grab or whatever, they're going to score pretty high compared to some of the lip tricks because it is a bowl. It's about 12 feet deep in the deep end, maybe about 7 in the shallow end. So, it does have enough wall surface to get some big airs. And, I'd expect people to, in a bowl like this, they should be kind of skating at the 5 to 6 foot level would be a good air for this bowl. Yeah. Transitions are a bit small to go like overhead to go 8 feet. But it's a good bowl, so yeah, it'll be interesting. And we got 3 good judges up there, one of New Zealand's longtime skaters, will be the head judge up there, and Nick Clegg and Scott Wilstrom, one of New Zealand's great skaters from days gone by, and Alan, one of the young guys. So we got some old guys, some young guys up there, and they know what's up. So they'll be looking for style, degree of difficulty, and the use of the bowl.
So in terms of like the different riders, and we're seeing Bowman going big there on the front side, but bailing out, but paddless. So some of the guys are rocking the pads, some of the guys are going paddless. Tell us about how they rationalize their choice of equipment.
Yeah, well, in the 80s, it was compulsory to wear pads because you used to pay to go to skate parks and stuff, and that was part of their deal. So everybody wore pads, and that was a generation thing. And then street skating kind of took over for about a 5 to 10 year window. And then it became back, everybody wanted to do all the new street tricks by skating switch and everything, onto transition and back into ramps and bowls. But those guys that transitioned, they didn't really want to wear pads. And they've kind of developed a new style of falling. I mean, basically all skaters that wear pads, they fall and they knee slide. Because it's a transition bowl, there's no impact, so you just slide out of your tricks. The guys that don't wear pads, they usually they butt slide, so it's just a different way of falling. They've created a new safe way of bailing.
They're using their natural padding of the gluteus maximus muscle to maximal effect. So you're talking about like really interesting, right? Bowl skating has become totally intergenerational, isn't it? We've seen the young ones out there ripping, and obviously Billy Morrison, Maury's daughter, and you've got the, Newa and, 14 years old, and then some of these guys, and then you're still skating. And I don't know if you want me to mention your age, but it's been a long time since I last saw you skate, and you're still killing it. So, the kids the new school kids coming in from the street got an advantage over, the people who come from a transition half-pipe background.
Yeah, they kind of do. I mean, a lot of the tricks have been, invented and everything, so it's very easy. But, I'm just about to turn 57. I've been skating for 47 years. Half of that as a professional, traveling the world and stuff like that. And I love it, and I have no intention of quitting or slowing down at any time soon. So it is a great sport, but I pretty much only will skate large transition things now. They're safer because you're falling on a transition. You're not I don't like the little ramps and the tight things. So the bigger the better. And these guys here, they're going to transition through, and I'd say a lot of these skaters will be skating for years. It's an amazing sport. It's user-friendly, and, you just use your own ability. You don't have to push it to get a smile on your face.
Yeah, it's totally right. As everybody's sort of setting their level right, and they've got, maybe a trick in their head that they've been working on or working through, and it's, talk to us a little bit about the mindset of a skater, because obviously, skateboarding's now in the Olympics, and there's been a lot of debate about is this a good thing or a bad thing, but, is it fundamentally changing the sport, or do you just think it's, sort of putting a bit of a spotlight on the positives of it?
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of ways to look at that. Like, I personally believe the Olympics needs skateboarding way more than skateboarding needs the Olympics. It's a great showcase, but the best thing about it is it's really opened it up for girls skating, because the Olympics is 100%, if there's they got a sport, they've got a, women's division and a men's division, and absolutely everything, which is so good to see the girls skateboarding getting highlighted. It has changed skateboarding a little bit. There's now, you go to skate parks, you've got soccer mums and everything, and we now have skateboard mums, where they've got the kids at the park and they're giving them a bit of a nudge and stuff. It's kind of great to see, and also, just getting a lot of young kids into it, because there is a goal and there is a future in skateboarding, whereas before I skateboarded for a lifestyle just because I loved it. But, hey, who wouldn't want to go to the Olympics and represent their country? How cool would that be?
Yeah, it'd be pretty rad. And I think also too, like you say, you were most probably the generation before me that started in the concrete parks, and then I started skating in the 80s when the vert ramps were coming through, and we've seen a lot of progression in the type of sports, but the ethos of it's always stayed the same. And I fully agree that the Olympics need skateboarding more than skateboarding needs the Olympics, but hopefully it'll help with the increasing the number of facilities.
Yes.
Like adding a little bit of investment into the sport, so we get some more spots, and
Yeah, that's probably the best thing that could come out of it. I mean, skateboarding is amazing, but in New Zealand we are underfunded and under-facilitated. Like, all the good skateboarders in New Zealand basically leave the country. For instance, that's why Sean Boucher's not here due to the COVID thing. He can't come in, with a quarantine and stuff. So he's overseas, and Niwa is skating here today, but if we weren't in a lockdown kind of situation of the world, he would be in America training, to up his skills. They've got the facilities and they've got the weather, so, but Mangawhai Bowl is world class. This is a great bowl, but it is one of one in New Zealand, and there's a great ramp at the Mount, so we got two facilities, but not everyone can just, if you live in Christchurch, you can't just run up here and skate every weekend and stuff like that, so... But you did talk on something before about the mindset of skating, and, it is really a high ability kind of go for it sport. It is an adrenaline sport or an action sport, but it is probably 50% mental. You know, you got you guys like Tony Hawk, who probably most of you will know through PlayStation, and you know, someone I skated with every day. He is, you know, like he is rock solid. His head is switched on. He is focused, and he does not fall when he, you know, and it counts.
Yeah.
So it is a mental game.
It is too, isn't it? Because, you know, like you were talking before about how you would rather skate big transitions, and that's a sort of most probably a great example of the sort of mind tricks that it can play, right? Because it's kind of counterintuitive that you see this, you know, 12-foot high vert ramp with, you know, a vertical wall at the top leading into a transition, and it feels scary. But it's an interesting thing, isn't it, that your mind plays tricks on you, right? You know,
yeah, it's kind of, I look at it as big friendly, you know?
Yeah, totally. And I suppose it's one of the reasons, you know, for anyone who's watched snowboarding that, you know, the super pipes, you know, they've got 20-foot transition, 2 feet of vertical, they're 22 feet high, which is massive, over 7 meters, right? But part of the reason for that is that it's actually easier for them to land the tricks because they don't land to the flat.
Correct, yeah. You cannot go big and land at the bottom. Your body will not handle it. It'll just crumble, you know. So you got a big transition, you know, and instead of having a 1-foot window to land, you've got an 8-foot window, and you can recover. And because it's a curve, it's a, you know, basically a cylindrical force that just holds you in there, and you can go off the top, and you're weightless, and because you're weightless, you're not going to hang up or whatever, just exactly like snowboarding halfpipe.
Yeah, it's what does it say? It's not how fast you go, it's how quick you stop.
Yeah,
and it's all about the getting the slide.
Yeah. Got Mike Bancroft riding right now. Mike's a great skateboarder, one of New Zealand's older professional skateboarders, and he is just... The guy just has so much ability on a skateboard. He plays with it. You know, not competitive anymore, but he comes out every year and just rolls around with us, and he's just so great to watch.
If anybody ever saw the Mountain Dew skate park pinball ad, Mike Bancroft was your man. So, like, he's a TV celebrity, kind of. What was it? When was that done? Back in 2012. They built a skate park to look like a pinball machine. And it was Mr. Bancroft flying around it.
Yeah, this is Dan Kelcher from Christchurch, and he's a great skateboarder. He's got a seriously great andirect and a nice invert. You might see him stomp it, little backside air there. I think, you know, he's in a Heat 1. I think this might even be his run.
Oh,
nice alley-oop backside air.
Yeah, backside air. He's getting about 3-4 feet out there. He'll build that up, will he? Get a bit higher?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody likes to try and get a solid run in or a safe run before they give it a nudge.
Yeah, so what's the strategy that people are working through? Like, you know, like, will some people go all out, or will they build up and sort of...
You know, Josh Wilson in the bowl now from Wellington. Now, you know, a lot of people have different mindsets, you know, and it depends on their competitiveness and, you know, whether they're just trying to have a lot of fun or actually if they're going for the win. You know, if I was skating this contest, I would focus on getting one really good run in, like a run that's guaranteed to take me through to the finals, but it would not be, and then after I've stuck that run and I've kind of made myself safe, I would then alter tricks for a higher ability, and I would go bigger.
Yeah, and have a bit of fun with it, play with it, right? So you have a bit of work through the tricks that you have on lock, and then build up the difficulty, right?
That's the one, yeah.
So it's obviously, you know, like quite a strategic and tactical sort of approach for these guys.
Yes. Stefan's skating right now from Wanaka, and I had a chat to him, and I said, "You got your line?" He said, "Nah, I'm just going to see where it takes me."
Oh, super technical trick
like
there.
That was the sick trick, you know.
Yeah. So what you're seeing, Stefan, there is starting to throw combination tricks. So what was that? A half cab to Smith to revert?
Yeah, pretty much. He basically did a Smith, and then he kind of ollied into revert, like. Yeah, super good. Didn't quite come out straight at the bottom of the transition, so he fell, but that's pretty cool.
And that's what you're saying too, you know, like tricks where you're coming down the wall blind there, essentially. You know, you're back to the wall, degree of difficulty goes up.
Yeah, so you see you know, a lot of these guys, I mean, that was Ant who was just in the bowl right there, and, you know, these guys are from all over, out of town, so sometimes it takes them a little bit to get used to this bowl too.
Yeah, it's definitely, how much of an advantage is it to be a local?
You know, when you're good, you're good, but definitely it's good to spend some time in the bowl. Ramps are pretty easy to adapt to because the walls are pretty much flat wall. But here, you know, every wall is slightly different, so it is good to, you know, you got 2 good sessions in here. You know, if you had 2 days of skating here, you could pretty much, you know, if you could just dive right on in there.
And is the main thing they're working on sort of figuring out the speed or the timing or where they generate the pace? Like what makes a bowl that much harder than a half pipe?
Basically the angle you're hitting the wall. Like, you know, like when you go up, you know, you want to go up the wall straight or square. And if you want to go front side, like Mike Bancroft just did, you want to go up with, you know, you kind of slide angle to the front side and backside slide angle to going the other way. But if you come off a trick and you go up a wall and you want to go front side, but you're actually going on the wrong angle, pretty hard to recover.
Mr. Bancroft getting very old school there with a big slide.
Yeah, he's just got a big bag of tricks, and it's just great to watch him play. But next coming up is Dan Coucher, and I'm pretty sure...
We're getting a replay there.
Yeah, there it is.
Burt slide.
Yeah, a little Larry Bertelman revert.
And then reverting it back up over the waterfall, so...
Nice.
Skills.
But look at this. Nice Andrek there.
Oh, it's trying to stall it there, Dave.
Yeah, he's got some great inverts and a great Andrek. He just locks his arm and stalls there.
And so, like, obviously some of these tricks we're calling have got some reasonably unique names, but back in the day, it was the person who invented them pretty much got to name them, right?
Yeah, there was some silly naming going on. I mean, Neil Blender's got a trick called the Jolly Mambo, and you know, there's a Madonna, and then of course there's a Sean Pan, and
which is the opposite of a Madonna. So a Madonna done backside instead of front side.
That's the one. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun in the days just making up names for tricks that were invented.
Were you ever involved in any of the debates on the deck about who invented what? Because you know, back when skating was young, we didn't have the internet, right? And people were almost developing sometimes the same trick in parallel, right? And it was a source of massive debate.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, we used to go to contests around the world, you know, National Skateboard Association contests, and you'd show up with a trick that you invented, you know, and being in California or whatever, and there'd be some guy from the East Coast doing the same trick. You're all,
oh no, he already did that in New York. Yeah,
yeah, that's the one. So, you know, yeah, it definitely was different without the internet.
Yeah, so anyway, like we're back hitting it now. We're seeing a bit of height, back-to-back airs here.
Yeah, Derek's a great skater. Such a good style.
All murdered out in black. He'll be loving the Metallica that they've got pumping at the moment. So.
Holding on to that one, I was...
Yeah, it's like straight legs. But
there you go, little airwalk fakie.
Yeah, and a switch. So riding backwards there, you know. So some really difficult tricks there, you know. Like it's scoring well.
Yeah, yeah. Apart from Bucky Lassick and Bob Burnquist, you know, skating switch is it's a whole different world.
Yeah, so like switch is basically, you know, with the skateboarding, you've got your 2 stances, natural, which is left foot forward, and goofy, which is right foot forward. Often left-handers will ride goofy. But man, when you're riding your board effectively backwards, the degree of difficulty goes up a lot, right?
Oh yeah. It's like trying to ride left-handed. It's tricky. Yeah, Stefan, hopefully he'll put it together this time.
Looking really smooth on the backside 50-50 in the shallow end. A really nice frontside Smith grind there.
Yeah, nice. Ooh. Throwing away backside boneless.
Looked like he was lining it up there.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Smith to 50-50. Switching it up.
Good. Throwing away the frontside air there.
Yeah, shame, because Luke does do some good airs, but he'll be featuring, there's a big contest at the Mount in 2 weeks, and that's his local, and he rips that place.
Yeah, and so like the Mount Vert ramp, interesting you saying that, you know, one of the best ramps. Yeah. That was from memory. I grew up at Mount Maunganui, and that was my home ramp, and that was stall.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful
nice
invert.
There it is. Oh, woo! Sick tuck knee invert. Yeah, okay. Dan just just up the ante for a few people there.
Yeah, that'd be scoring real high, but I'm old,
Yeah.
so, you know, in my world. But, you know, so like the Mount Maunganui vert ramp built back in 1987.
Yeah, check out the replay here because he just woke the crowd up. And look, he just locks that bottom arm, just stomps it right there, so that was good.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite tricks, and, you know, that tuck knee there is great.
Yeah, and really nicely with the grab done in front of the knee. Not stinking it up with the between the leg and massive stall.
I guess this is straight into Heat 2, are we?
Yeah, here we are. So that was actually Chris Curran, El Presidente of Skateboarding New Zealand, walking the talk. So here's Bowman.
And like the backside lip slide where he just did it, I mean, that's an amazing trick. I mean, pretty hard on the face wall, but coming in on the side of that hip, like that is a line. Like, you know, that is just a hard place to ride over there.
Yeah, so the transition's tightening up in that radius there.
Transition tighten up, and your window of opportunity is smaller and smaller and smaller. Like it's a convex curve. It's curved the wrong way. So if your body weight's not on top of your board, you know you'll wash out.
Yeah. And obviously Bowman's skating fast and skating padless, right? You know, so that's where you're talking about your amplitude when he turns that speed.
Talk about some guy that skates fast. This Caden, this guy destroys coping. He just 50-50s everything.
Yeah, working figure eights, building up a bit of steam, but not losing it on the face wall there on the shallow end. So I'm sure he'll be linking them together in the next run. Oh, backside boneless.
Yeah, Tyler's from...
He's an Aucklander.
Yeah, I thought he was from down south, but I guess not.
Maybe he's relocated.
Yeah,
you know, the lure of the big smoke.
Oh.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go.
Yes, no,
yes,
maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Look at frontside layback here.
Yeah.
He's getting old school.
Yeah. Most important thing is, you know, like, this is a free contest to enter. These guys from around New Zealand, and there's just basically a lot of unity in getting to come and skate together. They love it, I mean, and, you know, sometimes they're just there to have fun. I mean, there's going to be a six-pack of serious guys. And nice rock and roll slide by Chris.
Yeah.
And it's great to see Chris being the president of New Zealand Skateboard Association, you know, trying to put a bit of formality and try and keep people together and get people together and, you know, give a bit of direction for Skateboarding New Zealand.
Yeah, it is. And like with Skateboarding New Zealand, like you're saying, Dave, you know, like the skateboarding world is, you know, definitely in two minds about the Olympics and so forth. But I think, you know, the reality is it's happening, right? So Chris is doing a great job along with, you know, Dave Reed from Manual Magazine, you know, Charisse Henry, a whole lot of people working really, really hard to basically maximize the benefit that skateboarding can get out of it, right? And that's the thing is, you know, I don't think there'll ever be membership fees or you must join, but it's a matter of, I think, of sort of...
I hope you guys were watching that run. That was pretty much just a run of the day right then. Bowman basically put down the line that will take him through to the finals.
So at the moment, we're seeing a couple of people really stepping up, right? You know, like Dan looking pretty hot in the last heat, and Bowman coming in really hot now. I think a few with quite contrasting styles.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, and they're all just going to kind of play it safe until they get through to the finals, and then they will go for it because it'll be an adrenaline aggression session. Like, you know, they're going to feed off of each other. They're going to go higher. The crowd will, you know, the ability of skateboarding will be consistently at a high level, so the crowd are going to get into it, and then it'll, you know, for that 20-minute jam in the finals, it'll be just great skateboarding.
Yeah, and it's funny too, right? You know, because you see these guys sometimes amping on their friends' tricks as hard as they are on theirs, right? You know.
Yeah, exactly. Skateboarding is an amazing sport. Like, everybody would love to win, but you also want your best friend to win as well, you know.
Yeah.
And I would love to see, you know, these guys just put down their best run, but I'd also love to beat them. But, you know, yeah, I got some favorites today, so it'll just be great to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember in do you remember the moment where you were when Hawk landed the 9 at the X Games?
Yeah. For me, it was probably Mike McGill doing the 540, Del Mar Skateboard Ranch. First, that was changing skateboarding.
Yeah.
I was sitting right there. I think I was coming up about 4 people after him, and I just went, oh, okay, game changer.
Yeah, and you guys just mobbed the ramp, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Chris Curran in the bowl right now. Chris is coming up from Wanaka for the weekend. He's a new dad, so he's pretty stoked just to get the time out to come and have a skate today.
Yeah, so Chris runs a whole lot of skate programs too. So not only does he skate, but he teaches skating, and he runs drop-in sessions, which
here's Bowman for his next run.
Kicks it out on frontside
going in
grind.
there full speed.
Yeah, he was not messing around.
Yeah,
there.
but he's kind of going that they kind of have a rule in this jam that if you bail on your first wall, you can get a first wall rebate.
Yeah,
so basically, you don't waste a whole run, you know. And obviously, Bowman, people would love to see him skate. So
that's just really encouraging people.
Nice
to,
Smith grind.
Oh yeah. Oh, going for a big Madonna there.
Yeah.
So remember before we were talking Madonnas and Sean Penns. That one came down first. Now who named that? Was that Lance Mountain?
You know, I'm not really too sure. I was trying to think of that when you said it, but can't remember.
The young dude in the pit helmet before reminded me of Lance Mountain, though. Didn't he have one of those? You know, his dad was an English dude, and he was always to run around, you know, like skating in crazy hats.
Yeah, there's a few clowns in skateboarding. It's good. Caden's got this little boneless into the pool.
Oh, that's
nice.
Pretty gnarly, right? You know.
Yeah, it's a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Woo! Switch again. Switch from Smith. Well, thank you from Smith. To back Petty.
Putting together a nice run here.
Yeah, he is.
This is a solid run. Oh! That run might get him.
Like you
Shouldn't have
say,
said that.
Yeah, it was the commentator's kit of death. Sorry about that. But, you know, like you say, the difficulty coming into the hip, right? He had that front Smith. And
yeah, exactly. Changes your guaranteed make line.
Oh, he gets it. Whatever that was.
Right, some disco tricks. Let's get up the Tyler in Heat 2, everybody. Hey, just for anyone that missed the Instagram post as well, we're running a photo competition with Canon. And hashtag CanonNZ and Mangawhai Bowl Jam going to draw to win a 2000 Tuesday.
That's a great ride, Caden.
Heat 3 goes like this. Diva Shorey, Tom Mitchell, Jackson Ested, Stephen Denning.
All right, coming up now is the third heat. They're dropping in. And one of the guys I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you were here, but Niwa Sherry coming out of Okura. One of the young guns, probably, you know, one of the better skaters in New Zealand right now. Super great. He's high-tech, he's modern, he's got a good style, he's got lots of tricks in his bag. So I just want to see if he can put it all together here on a
nice
different surface, you know. But you just watch his lines, and, you know, he'll go big. He's got a great stalefish in the corner there. Nice backside air. So you just let him warm up or whatever, and it'll be great to see him put a good line together today. Tom Mitchell will be following him. Tom coming out of Raglan, originally from England, but hanging out with us here now, and super stoked on that because this guy is the mini ramp skater of the world. He just does like 100 tricks in a row, and now he's just doing them in the big bowl. He doesn't care. So just really fun to watch him skate. Great control of his skateboard. Like that trick, that's amazing.
So Niwa, you know, first run in, using a lot of the bowl, right? You know, there's lines all over the place. How important is it?
Yeah, it's super important. I mean, it's basically a bowl running competition, so, you know, no sense in riding the face wall. If you can use it all, like, you're going to score higher. And it's just good to watch. That's how bowls are supposed to be ridden, like, you know, the use of a bowl.
He's got the hand plant. Frontside 50-50, though.
Yeah, Jackson's rad to watch. He's just such a fun skater.
I went alright. I finished my run in the first run, but then in the second, I just went
off coping on my 50-50.
Going for the backside 5-0 over the hip there. Hard trick.
Oh, through Taranaki. And this kid is eyeing up finals. He's got a big bag of tricks. Gets good amplitude. The judges love that.
Yeah, nice backside ollie over the waterfall there for Niwa.
Looks like he's sort of working a line and sort of trying to...
He's, you know, he's actually got a lot of pressure on him because, like I said, you know, he's up and coming, like one of New Zealand's best skaters. So people are kind of expecting him to win, which, you know, on a 14-year-old kid makes it really hard. And as soon as he relaxes, he is a contender, you know. He'll put a line together this time and he'll make it through to the finals, and then I think the session will, you know, take it home. You know, he'll get excited and it'll be great skating. But right now he's just got to put a solid run through to get through to the finals. And, you know, he had a fall there a bit early, but he's got some great tricks, and as long as he continues to use the ball, like, I mean, I'm sure he'll make it through to the finals, and then I think we'll see him shine.
So it's a really good point, you know, like obviously the ability, free skating, just having a good time. There's some people who are ripped and won't ever enter competitions, but then the competition has a different mindset, you know, like how did you, when you were competing professionally against the best skaters in the world, get your head into the space for a comp versus just going in and having a bit of fun?
You know, I guess I was very lucky because all the best skaters in the world were all my best friends, and we skated together every day anyway. So it was just kind of like another session at a different place.
Fun with money.
Yeah, that was the one. And you kind of, you know, the better you did, the more money you got. So it was just a good day.
Yeah. It's also worth, I think, you know, really skateboarding. Most people aren't necessarily doing it for the, you know, backside test slide.
Yeah, that was nice.
Really, really nice trick. So, you know, people are like really, really stoking on it for their own thing, enjoying the company of their friends and having a bit of competition. But it's an interesting balance, isn't it? Like the mentality for people who are used to watching other sports.
Yeah. I mean, I think skateboarding is still like, a lot of people do it for the love of skateboarding. I mean, as a professional skateboarder, I did well, but I mean, I'm not a professional skateboarder anymore, and I still skateboard every day if I have the opportunity to. So it's really the love of the sport.
Yeah, and I think you find that, right? That even
let's check out Niwa's run here. You know, nice backside ollie over the waterfall, nice front feeble, which is a sick hard trick. Just getting his feet together, nice. Here he goes, a little backside air.
He missed that last time,
yep,
so here we go.
There's the stalefish.
Goes down pretty hard there, but really technical, grab the stalefish, Dave.
Yeah, and you know, he tweaks it pretty good. Like if you watch the slow-mo, you'll see his feet, like his board is folded, and he's like right under it there. But just kind of lean forward on the ball, and but I think he's just got a bit of pressure on his shoulders, and he's just got to relax. I mean, because I skated it with him 2 weeks ago, and oh my God, he was on fire.
Yeah, blowing minds, huh?
Yeah.
It's good to see him get a couple more walls, though, you know, and obviously with this format, they get a lot of runs. You know, Tom taking his first wall rebate there, and he's back in again to, you know, give it another go. So hopefully we see Niwa land a full line.
Yeah, and I think we will. I mean, he's good. He's real good. So...
with skateboarding too, you know, like obviously your legs get tired, right?
Yeah, they do.
You know, like how much fatigue builds up as you go through your run?
Yeah, like you know, most people would skate like all day long and everything, but the intensity of skating in a contest, you up your ante, you up your intensity, and you skate harder, and also your runs are longer. So you know, like I mean, a 20-minute session right now will work these guys.
Yeah.
You know, like.
So, Tom going there for what, big spin, blunt, fakie?
Yeah, 360 shove it, blunt fakie, which would have been great. I mean, like I said, he's a mini trick master. Old Jax from up in Kiri, great skater to watch, always fun to skate with. He's just trying a Miller flip there in the deep end, and, you know, he makes that too.
So you and Jackson obviously spend a bit of time on your ramp that you built in Kiri.
Yeah, you know, he's a local, and pretty much every time I would go, he'd be skating there, and he rips up the mini ramp and the little bowls.
So in terms of, like you say, seeing more of this, because you can see the sort of crowd in an event like, you know, the Vans Mangawhai Bowl Jam pulls into a town, what should towns be looking for when they're thinking about building facilities?
You know, what they really need to do is they need to build facilities, not only like everybody likes to build the happy little scooter, bicycle, skateboard, user-friendly thing that's about 3 to 4 feet deep, which is great, which is amazing and beautiful, but they are spending big money, and they need to set places up for natural progression and training grounds. I mean, it is an Olympic sport, and there's going to be nothing in the Olympics that's 3 foot high and, you know, like that. There's going to be bowls like this there, you know, and there'll be people doing 540s off of big walls and things. So we need to kind of set things up for natural progression. So you have the 3 foot stuff, you have the 4 foot stuff, just like they've done here at Mangawhai. The background around behind these people has a street course, has a little mini ramp, has some smaller transitions, and then it has a bowl that would be international quality. And we need to get, you know, Wanaka's got one, but you know, there needs to be a dozen around New Zealand, so then there'll be just locals.
Yeah. So I think we've that was just the end of the heat, and
oh, good.
We're back into.
Well, it'll be great. Coming up will be Masters pretty soon. Can't wait to see that. All my friends are in there, and we'll catch up with you guys real soon, and look forward to the finals with these guys.